Hey everybody, it's your boy Lazz here, and you already know what this is. It's Lazz Logs, baby. Um, yeah, so just to kind of start off with this, I want to talk about Megaplex a little bit here. I know I really haven't posted anything since the previous Lazz Log. That was the last time I even mentioned anything about Megaplex, and that was, I'd say, 2 months ago. It was roughly about a month before it was going to start, or it might even been during September. Um, shows how well I keep up with these, for how far and few between I do these anyway. So, I just kind of want to recap on Megaplex and how everything went because, like I stated, I haven't posted nothing about it. I don't have pictures. I don't have video. I don't have any of that besides my own experience, which, not saying I had a bad time, but, I feel like at the end of this, there's going to be a lesson learned that I hope maybe others can take, if you're ever going to your first furry convention and whatnot. So let me just kind of start off around the beginning. So I know initially I said I was going to have friends come along with me and whatnot, and unfortunately, my furry friends weren't able to make it. They had to work that whole weekend, so they weren't able to get the time off to come join me. Which it is what it is. You know that's life. You got bills to pay and whatnot. Um, so I planned on getting a weekend pass for the whole event. For both me and my girlfriend. That was pretty much my whole group there. It was going to be four of us, and it was two. So got weekend passes because cost wise, and as well as if I was going to come back, I wasn't 100% sure on what I was going to do anyway. So I gotta say the venue was great. I liked the hotel that they were at. I think it was the Hyatt hotel. Um, like they got a great convention space. Like the hotel has a convention space built into it anyway. So I'm not surprised at how well it worked out. The layout wasn't too bad. The the parking was a whole nother situation, which can't really say too much about the parking only because it was controlled by a valet company, a separate valet company at the parking garage. It was just really weird, but everything everything worked out for that. But that's just really weird how that went and whatnot. Um, the staff was great. You know, um, Relatively helpful, but the I would definitely would say the map that they have for the convention was just it wasn't easy to follow, to know where things were at and whatnot. Because I know when we got there on site, we had to register. I wasn't able to register online because I missed the online registration and whatnot. And they don't update their site enough, or really ever. And with that, once when we got there, you know they indicated the same thing that was online then when you could pre-register, and that was, hey, you got to register online and you pay for it online, and then we can check your ID and get you a badge and off you go. Which we had to take the time to do all that and whatnot, which is very weird too, because I guess a day before they opened up online registration again, so it would have been useful if their website would have indicated or stated something. But besides that, which was a small mild hiccup, and and just navigating around was just weird because they'd have they have the "you are here" kind of postings and maps and things, which was slightly helpful but not too informative. And then obviously with the map, they had a QR code that you could scan to pull up the map online. And their map online, I wouldn't say was broken, but it just didn't really work as well as I thought it should, because they were on, don't hold me to it, I think two or three different levels was their convention space there. So it was a little hard to tell on which floor and which area things were at and whatnot. But regardless, first first time for me and whatnot. So I did have a great time. Through and through, I did have a great time and whatnot. I definitely want to go back again. I don't know if it'll be next year or anything like that, but so I'm just going to kind of cover the plan, my overall plan that I had here. So, my overall plan was, just go there, get the experience. I guess mostly just kind of put under my belt, hey, I went to a furry convention, because that's what everybody says. You got to go to at least one, and it was getting that achievement under my belt. You could say was the main part of the plan. I mean the month. I don't want to say months, but month to weeks, maybe months. I don't know however, but I did look at their schedule and see what they had and whatnot, and with their panels and things, I didn't see anything too interesting that I wanted to go see. Hands down, I didn't really see anything where going in, it was just okay, get there, register, and kind of see what's going on and whatnot. Where I wanted to do media coverage, which I say media coverage as a blanketed term of take pictures of fursuiters and just get some video in and things like that of the event and whatnot. And that was a thought that I had, but I just went in as open-minded as I could, which isn't that big of an issue, but with no plan. And I can't emphasize any harder on no plan, which I kind of thought wasn't a bad thing, because then there's no commitments to things. Because I've heard from plenty of other furs that do conventions and stuff that they plan, they'll plan out everything, but even their recommendations always indicate, hey, even if you plan everything out, just expect to meet up. Well, I wouldn't say meet up, but meet the criteria of 50% of the time. So, if you got everything planned out, where you're going to meet up with friends, maybe see some panels, all that jazz, it's just 50% of the time. So expect to not get everything and hit up everything and whatnot. So, with that kind of mentality from years before, from other furries, that's why I kind of thought my plan was going to be superior. Just because well, I ain't going to really miss anything. I'm just trying to go with the flow. So I just kind of want to put hands down right now that with my plan 2, I was kind of basing it on whatever my friends wanted to do, which they weren't really able to go. So I was able to have my girlfriend, and the thing with my girlfriend is she's not a furry, so she understands the fandom people and things like that, but she doesn't know how everything is and how it works and whatnot. Um, where if you want to call it funny or not, I mean, she was asking questions here and there. So wait, where do people get this, and how do people get that, and whatnot? And it's like, for me, it's basic 101 stuff that I know, which I wasn't like being condescending to her or anything. It was more so, it was kind of a wake up call where it was like, oh yeah, that's right. This is, I mean, yeah, me going to a convention space, a furry convention space is new for me, just like for her. But all the mannerisms and things like that. Oh yeah, that she doesn't understand. So you know, so so with that in mind, going in there, I just wanted to get acclimated to the space, see where things were at and whatnot. I kind of made my mind up, I would say, within the first hour that I was there. Like, okay, I'm not going to worry about getting pictures and media coverage or anything like that, because, um, I'm just not feeling it. I just want to, see what's going on. We checked out the dealer's den and the artist's alley and things like that. And I mean, like everybody that was there that had a table, it was good stuff. Unfortunately, I just didn't see anything that was interesting for me to get in or purchase. So, I just kind of showed up and kind of browsed. So while we were browsing and whatnot, my girlfriend seen a panel for that she was really interested in, that kind of sounded up my alley and whatnot. So um, we just waited till the panel opened up, and the panel opened up and checked it out. It was pretty much horror stories from jobs and stuff. It's pretty much the panel, and good time, fun time. I enjoyed it. My girlfriend enjoyed it. Um, so we did that. We got out of there, and decided, okay, let's check out the dealer's den again. Because we kind of walked through, but it was while we were walking through initially is when we kind of made she made the decision of, hey, I want to go see this panel, which we had X amount of time before it was going to start. So we go around again and check things out, and been to every single table. And after that, that was kind of it. I mean, we were there for 4 or 5 hours. It might have been less than four, to be honest. And it was, you know, late afternoon, early evening, and about dinner time, and we went and ate at a nice restaurant, and then just kind of went home. And during that time, I wouldn't say I was having an existential crisis, but I was definitely having a moment of reflection where, not that I wasn't having fun, but it was more so the realization of, wow, there's really like nothing to do. When there's plenty of stuff to do, you probably just have to have a plan to actually know what to do. Crazy thought. So later that night, we get home. I have the schedule with me, and I'm just looking over the schedule for Saturday and whatnot, seeing what's interesting, because after that experience, it's like, oh well, that it was just slightly boring for me. For her, she didn't know what to do because she's not a furry, and nothing else looked interesting enough. So I look over the schedule and stuff to figure out Saturday and actually get a game plan for Saturday, instead of just showing up and whatnot. Now since I knew where things were at and whatnot, I felt a lot better. And for me personally, I only seen like a panel that was like at 11:30 p.m. for Saturday. Which, I mean, I don't mind going there late or staying there late or anything, which is like, okay, well, I think I would like to see that panel if I could. It was like a mock of Whose Line Is It Anyway? I think it was about like an hour and a half or something like that. It was kind of a decent amount of time. So that was the only thing that I seen on there, which was like, okay, so we've already been through the Dealer's Den and the Artist Alley 2 times on Friday, which I mean, we go there again. It's probably nothing really different, because I mean, virtually all the tables were filled up. There's only a couple of empty tables, but maybe for holdouts or just vendors that couldn't make it, whatever the reason is. But the only other thing I came up with was, okay, you know what, I didn't do media coverage Friday because I wanted to get the feel for it. It's like I feel like I got an understanding where things are, and I could just do media coverage and stuff where I was thinking, okay, well, I'll just do media coverage until like my phone dies or something like that, and then whether if we get there before the panel or or just be there until the place closes and whatnot, which was like 2 or 3 a.m. because they had the dance floors and floor wars and things like that going on late at night. Where pretty much the next day, woke up, kind of got ready, went and talked to my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, look, for sure, I apologize at first because around the end, I was just so deep in my thoughts and whatnot that she felt like she ruined the experience, or I just wasn't having a good time, or something like that. Where I firstly apologized to her and said, hey, look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be like that. It's just new experience and things going on in my mind, but I didn't feel like anxiety or that I wanted to go home or anything like that. Kind of like what I explained in the last video. It was just I didn't have a plan, and hey, look, I got a plan. Do you think you want to go? And she kind of said, well, it's kind of up to you if you want to go. It's like, if you want to go, I'll go. And we're so indecisive at times that it just kind of turned into because I stated my whole plan and stuff where for her, she was like, it's like, unless if you really want to go, then we should go, because other than that, she's like, if not, then let's just stay at home. So stood at home. And I'm kind of happy that I did, because well before I even talked to my girlfriend, I got on the computer just to see what was going on and catch up with friends, and my friends online, they know who they are, that plays Killing Floor. One of them was having a bad day that day and really wanted to play with friends just to get things off her mind. And me and my other buddy, we got on and we played and had a good time. She felt better, and and even in the end, because they knew I was going to a convention and stuff, and even they're like, oh man, we thought you were going to be there or something. And even I kind of explained what was going on, and and even in the end, I told them, like, look, it's like I had a better time playing with you guys than going to the convention anyway. So yeah, so that's kind of the overall experience of Megaplex that I got there. That I thought it was just better just to kind of say it word of mouth instead of typing it out. I'm sorry if I kind of rambled around a little bit there. I definitely just kind of wrote everything down. So just to kind of end the Megaplex segment with this, so the lessons learned. The lesson learned that I got was, um, you have to have a plan. You absolutely have to have a plan. If you got friends going with you, I think that would probably help, but you have to just have a plan for yourself. And I was just relying so heavily on what other people wanted to do when really I should have known what I wanted to do. And even with my friend online that plays Killing Floor, um, even she told me, you know, there's times that I want to go to a convention, because she does conventions relatively frequently. It's Oi, by the way. I know I was trying to be, but it's Oi. So Oi kind of told me, like, look, I would like to go to every convention, but even she's like, I look at the schedule, I see if there's any events that are interesting, and if there's nothing interesting, I don't go. It just doesn't make any sense to. And it's like, man, I wish I had that information before just being so dead set like how I was, because I just wanted the achievement under my belt. Hey, look, I went to a furry convention. Woo, yay. But yeah, I mean, that's a lesson learned, that if anybody else is either on the fence or something, like you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. You got to have something to do while you're there. I think friends will make it better, but if you don't have anything like that, just maybe wait till next year or find something different. So yeah, that's my lesson learned. Where for the next one, for sure, I'm going to see and look for things that I'm interested in. And if there are things that I'm interested in, then cool. If there's a couple of things I'm interested in for the whole weekend, then I'll get a weekend pass. If everything's kind of like on one day, well, I'm just going to get one day to go there. So yeah, so that was my Megaplex experience. Not bad. Definitely would go again, but definitely need a plan for next time. So, moving on here. I already know I posted something about this already, and that is updates for the AV computer. So, I'm really hoping the biggest issue that I might be running into here is getting a new GPU for the system, and it's just because the power supply unit, it's just it can't support a heavy duty GPU providing it with the power. So the issue is that, as well as for how old the system is, where I guess they make adapters and stuff to compensate for that, for my exact problem that I'm probably going to look into. But the thing is for what I posted for the NVIDIA GTX 1660 Ti GPU, that's kind of the unit that I need for this system, because I can't go any higher than that because of how old the station is. It's a relatively old Dell Optiplex, so I can't just get the most newest GPU and slap it in there. The hardware just wouldn't be able to handle it, regardless of the PSU. So this was just kind of checking out forums and stuff. I haven't purchased nothing yet. I'm just kind of holding off for now. But that 1660 Ti, that's probably going to be the hardest thing to find. And if I can't find that, then I don't really know how much of the quality is going to change and whatnot for for the Radeon I have in there right now. So, I am excited to do the AV updates, and I'm really hoping for the updates it's going to make improvements where, I can start doing, 2K to 4K kind of game capturing and things like that. But, I think it's going to heavily rely on the GPU in order to make that happen. Because, sure, I am going to buy a new Elgato unit and whatnot. Regardless if I can get that or not, I'm still going to purchase a new one. But, I think the unit just captures it and just sends it to the system, and I think everything is just handled by the GPU, especially for my experience. So it's just that, the storage is storage, just another hard drive just to hold me over until, maybe I'll get enough common sense, or maybe if I do enough of these or whatever, I'll just buy a new system or something, or maybe it'll work out at the right amount of time where, maybe I'm going to upgrade my everyday desktop that I use. But, yeah. And then the really, really tricky part is going to be the video editing software. I still don't know where I'm going with that yet. I just got to see whatever in the world's going on. I don't think I really want to use Adobe, only because like all of Adobe stuff's kind of turned to a subscription based thing, and like I don't mind paying for something, but a one and done would go a long way in my opinion. So yeah, so it's just going to be playing around and whatnot. I think there'll be something more for sure. But I mean, there's so many different programs and things, but yeah. So I just kind of wanted to touch base real quick with the AV updates. Nothing's set in stone. I'm still going to buy a whole bunch of stuff to upgrade it, but I don't really know if the video quality is going to change all that much, or if I'm even going to find a video editor that's going to work, or that is sort of affordable, or it's kind of whatever, because I don't make any money off any of this, but and I'm not saying price is no object, but I still got bills and I still got to eat and things like that, and yeah, it's a hobby, but it's not a hobby that I'm fully invested into, that I'm willing just to throw tons of money at it. Like, I'm willing to throw money at it, but obviously not a lot. Otherwise I would have bought a gaming computer, spend like $1,000 or something on something completely new, but I just can't do it. I can't be bothered, I guess you could say. Alright, yeah, so I wanted to get into downloads. So if you've been on a site and whatnot, I know I talked about this before, so it's Admin Dragon, we brought back the downloads. He's been hard at it, doing it and whatnot, so, we got all the applications in that would, that we had under the web links and FTP and whatnot. We got the screensavers there, and, just keeping it pretty short and sweet and simple for that, because I mean, you guys can browse around and see what's interesting for you and whatnot, but everything's still on FTP if you still like using FTP as well and whatnot. But with the downloads, it's dedicated where it will work, it's reliable, it's not, you ain't going to do anything weird and whatnot, and for what the file is exactly what the file is. So yeah, we're making strides with that, and I'm quite happy with how it's turning out and whatnot. I'd say we're probably about 80% of it there. We're not putting everything under downloads. Like, we're not doing like components and drivers and Windows operating systems, and just just tonight I just kind of decided we're not going to put up the serving programs as of right now, and it's just because it's for very very niche situations and whatnot, so it just doesn't make any sense to have those there. If you're interested, check out the web links, go to FTP. You should already know what you want. But for any regular Joe Schmo that's just going to browse the site or is looking for something, oh man, they got this older version of Firefox that I need because I hate this one version. This version supports this add-in or something. Okay, cool. Download and install it. It's kind of like that. It's for any Joe Schmo, but that has particular tastes. But but won't totally have their taste for everything because everybody's different. Every site's different. All right, and so the last thing that I just want to cover here. Ooh, hold on, excuse me. Let me just take a sip of tea here. Okay, so the last thing I just kind of want to talk about, Hurricane Milton. My area is going to get hit by this this weather event. It's looking like it's a pretty severe thing right now. It's a Category 5. It's supposed to hit in about 36 hours. I already got a 36-hour warning from our local government for evacuations and things like that. I'm not too concerned about it for where I'm at in the Central Florida area because I don't live on the coast of Florida anywhere. So, the storm's going to weaken, but depending on how strong it's going to be when it makes landfall, it's another thing to be desired. More than likely, the server and everything's going to be shut down and whatnot during that time, and I'll send updates and things like that. So, if you're viewing this on YouTube, I'm going to post updates as best as I can with my other platforms that I use. So, Telegram and Discord and Blue Sky and whatnot. So, yeah. So, there's going to be some minor interruption with that because I'm positive that I'm going to lose power for the strength of this storm. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose power and whatnot. So, I am, I'm well prepared for that, and depending on the destruction and whatnot, depends on how fast I get power and communications. So, if the internet's down, well, don't matter if the power's up. Power's up, that's good for me because, I'll have lights and AC and a refrigerator that works. And, I can do things, like I can play video games and whatever, but, I won't be able to do everything and whatnot. So, yeah, so we're going to have some disruption this month and whatnot for game captures and things like that, which I know I haven't started on any at all for October. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit unknown for however that's going to go. So, I'm not trying to be ominous here along the lines of, oh no, we're doomed or whatever. Everybody's making it seem like that, but we won't know till it's here. That's just how these weather events are when it comes to hurricanes. So, yeah, I thought I'd just kind of bring that up and let you guys know that there's likely going to be a content delay since this is the first thing that I'm kind of doing for October. But yeah, just keep an eye on the website and my socials and stuff, and I'll let you guys know whatever's going on good or bad and whatnot. So yeah, but yeah, I think that about wraps up this Lazz log here. Um, Pretty decent size, for what it is and whatnot. I mean, most of it's just talking about Megaplex. You know, because like I said, thought it'd be easier just to say it instead of write it down and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and whatnot. I know I don't do these enough, but nothing exciting really ever happens in my life. And I'll keep you guys in the loop and whatnot. And yeah, that's about it. Catch you guys with the next one.